Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty, and it's a bitterly cold Friday in Huddersfield, and I really want to get nice and warm and have a hot drink. But before that, I've got stuff to do, and I'm going to review a comic book for you, and it's one that's supposed to be out last week for UK stores. It did get delayed, though, so I have Arkham City Order of the World. This one went on my list because I've read a couple of things by Dan Watters recently, or Waters. It's got double T. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it. I've only seen it written down, not spoken out loud. And I've liked what they've done. They've actually done some stuff which really had me thinking, and I was like, you know what, sticking within the Batman universe could be, a bit of a safe option rather than the experimenting on stuff. But I also really like Danny's artwork, so it's like, yeah, okay, give it a shot. 6 issues. Weirdly, it's not DC Black Label, and I thought it would be, because this is clearly a horror comic book, and it's quite a dark horror comic book, and there's a lot I like about it. Now, I do have two criticisms, though, and one of them is going to be a spoiler. So if you've not read it and you're wanting to, disappear for a while, go to your comic book store, grab a copy, or pull out your pull list. Make sure you read it. If you don't really care about spoilers, fine. It's not like it's going to really alter it because this is issue one. Anything that happens in issue one is more like, just part of the story, but still thought I better let you know. So my first criticism is minor, tiny little things about the artwork or about things to do with the artwork. Because I said I really like Danny's stuff. When I first opened it, the first page reminded me of Tim Sale's Long Halloween, which is a brilliant thing to be reminded of. Genuinely cool artwork. But the more you start paying attention to the fine detail on it, you realize there's also quite a lot of Frank Miller in there as well. Lots of noir stuff, overuse of blackness. There is very little in the way of actual lines, though, which Tim Sale, I always get, I want to say Jeff Loeb, but Tim Sale actually does use quite a lot, and a lot of the characters are a lot more realistic in this one. Again, Tim Sale does play around with like over-the-top caricature, cartoonist kind of stuff. Similar to Frank Miller, really, but there's a realism to this which I really, really quite like, and the noir feel running through and through. I'm going to show you just the title page, and look at that top bit there. That's somebody coming out from under a bed. That is brilliant, and look at the way the material is wrapped up around the arms and around the fingers. So much excellent work done there. And my problem with the artwork or such things is this page, or this panel in particular, because that is a brilliant look at Arkham Asylum. I love the fact that there is changes done just to the line work here, where you can still see that the bars go down because the backdrop kind of changes. Really nice detail. But look at all this dead space here. Why have that bit of lettering there? Why have the box out text where it's actually getting in the way of amazing artwork? Now, the reason I say it's a very minor criticism is because I absolutely love the artwork for this book. And if anything, the fact that such a minor thing bugs me kind of shows you how good the rest of it is. If you're buying it just for the artwork, you will not be disappointed. Story-wise, this is where you get to the slight other disappointing thing. And again, minor. And that's basically, it's a story of criminals escaping Arkham Asylum. This is old hat. It's basically the entire reason Batman's comic books still keep going is that people break out of Arkham. It ties in with the whole A-Day thing, so if you're not aware of that one, go and do some research. It's too long for me to get into. But it's one particular psychiatrist who's basically trying to find some of her patients got missing with the help of some members of Gotham PD. And they're going to end up in Blackgate, and it's causing some friction. Now, this friction is brilliantly done. The writing married to the artwork actually is brilliant for characterization. You have a cool detachment on one part. You have a kind of resigned frustratedness on another, and when it flips to anger, it goes to an almost like a monotone quiet of anger, because he's let all his emotions kind of get out of him, like for much more minor, insignificant things. When something actually bad happens, you get the impression like he has a deep reserve of anger, and this character does not want to let it get out, so he just locks it down and just lets it out in a dull, I say monotone, it's hard to tell with just writing on here, but you get that sense from the way it's written, the way it's presented. And you do get some brilliant, like more excitable kind of writing as well. The lettering for it is genuinely outstanding. There's a wonderful bit where you get introduced to the Ten-Eyed Man. And if you just look at the speech bubbles and the way they're put together, that kind of thing runs throughout. And the creepiness level of that mod with the actual creepiness of that character is superb. Honestly, edge of the seat creepiness throughout. Having read DC horror titled Soul Plumber the other day, which is literally called DC Horror, this is scarier, and it's just a DC one that's not even a mature reader. It's like 12 plus on there. Genuinely great. But because it's Arkham Asylum inmates breaking out and a psychiatrist going to rescue them or save them, you just know there's going to be some kind of almost not quite, but probably Harleen Quinzel kind of twist that she is in a way of helping them, because she genuinely does seem to believe that mental illness is an illness, not a crime, that she's probably going to be led down a dark path. and she is. It's almost inevitable, and in this particular case, it was. There's something particularly gruesome and inventive and creepy that happens near the end, and her willingness to go along with it. It just felt like it was coming from very early on in the comic book, and it's kind of disappointing that it didn't surprise me. Considering how good the rest of this is, though, it's a minor quibble, and because this is kind of like, I'll say, it's part of the lore of Batman that this kind of thing happens. I don't hold it against Danny Waters for writing it that way, or Dan Waters, should I say? I think it's a characterization thing that was going to happen, so why not have fun with it? And there's definitely a lot of fun to be had with this one. Probably the best thing I've read this week. In fact, no, it's certainly the best thing I've read this week. Probably the best thing I've read this month. Really, really enjoyable, absolutely brilliant, creepy horror. I don't know why this wasn't part of a horror title, a horror imprint, rather than just being part of the DC Universe one. It's baffling, but great. That's it for me this week. I'll be back on Tuesday. Until then, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.